Hello everyone, it's Angel from GemTCG here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys this $10,000 collection that I just bought. Now, I paid exactly $10,118. I think the total value was around maybe like 13,000, 14,000. Actually, yeah, I think it was like 14,500 in total. And it was from someone from a local Facebook group. I made a post saying I was buying collections, and they reached out. Took them like I think like a week or two to just add up everything and get it all into a TCG list. So very big. This is like probably the biggest collection I've ever bought. I know I made a video a few months ago of like another one, but I don't know. This one just seems a lot cooler because this was a person's entire personal collection over the years, and he said he still has a lot more. Like this is just like a third of what he has, which is pretty crazy. I told him if you ever want to sell it all, just reach out again and I will happily buy it from you. Like the guy was very nice too. I like it's always nice seeing people that are, just good people in the hobby rather than people that are just rude and want the most money they can get from everything. And even like me as a business person, I understand that. Like I want the most money out of my stuff too. But that doesn't mean you have to be rude about it. Like you could still be a nice person and get your way. So that's just that. I think being like that will get you a lot of benefits and will do more like good than harm. Because even if you're nice and you lose out on a deal, even if you lose money on that one, you might get lucky or like be fortunate enough to, have something good happen to you another time. And yeah, so this is my first time going through the collection. That's why I'm setting it up. And I just want to go through it on video so that you guys can see it all. I probably won't be like sorting it all in this video, but just I want to show you guys this because I don't know. Like at first instance, I was like, wow, this is a really cool collection. Like a lot of unique stuff. So these are some promos sealed too, which is a benefit. And he had this like, I think these are it. I think it was these cards. So these were all like light plate and near mint. And honestly, like I thought the conditions were very good. Like for saying light played, this one's moderately played a little bit, but he wanted only 50% on those, which I thought was very nice. Like usually, even if people have cards that are worth, let's say $20, but it's damaged, they still want 70%. And personally, I don't like buying anything below light blade at 70% because it's just, I don't know, it's too much, and there's not enough liquidity on those cards because it's like not as many people want damage cards compared to regular like near mint cards. So I think all these top loaded ones are like the expensive cards. And he wanted, so there was one big collection of $10,000, which was, I'm assuming it's all these top loaded ones. And then he wanted 60% on everything else that wasn't, I think it was like $2 to $10 for those. And like, just look at these like tag team cards, full art tag team, some trainer galleries, like there's a bunch of really cool cards in here and cards that you don't see every day. Like a lot of times when you're buying collections from people, you'll find a pattern. Like people tend to sell you just what they can't sell. So when you buy collections from people that are actual collectors, you will find a lot better cards because it's like this is just what they collected. Like people collect what they like, and you always notice a cool pattern with it too. Like some people collect a bunch of certain cards that they like, and it's just interesting to see that. Like sometimes, like I bought one collection from someone that was just a bunch of Ditto cards, like those old Ditto cards that had the where he's like a different Pokemon, like the Bulbasaur, Charmander, all that. And it's just, I don't know, it's always fun looking through those collections as opposed to buying from like another reseller, because when you buy from a reseller, they're really just selling you what they can't sell. And I made like a short form video on that. These special illustrations from 151 are amazing. I made a short form video on like you can buy from vendors and still make a profit, but you have to be aware of the fact that like they're just selling you what they can't sell. And like, yeah, like even if it's cheaper stuff or not as desirable, if you're selling it online, you could always make a profit on anything and like always find a buyer for anything, just because there's so many people online. Whereas if you're selling locally, like these vendors are, it's a lot harder to make a sale, because people, like, you have a shorter or smaller pool to sell to. I heard these have been going up a lot. These Charizard Ultra Premium Collection promos. So check those out if you have them. And there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Like, this is a sweet alt art. I think very underrated. Actually, not underrated. It's expensive, but like not talked about enough. More alt arts. Some things I wanted to talk about in this video was one. So first thing, actually, with TCG Automate, I just want to thank you all for like just being supportive and testing it out, letting me know how it is. There were, I will be honest, like at first launch, it was expected, but there were some pretty, pretty like decent issues that were slowing things down that have since been fixed, which I'm very glad about. But so that's that. I added a lot more TCGs. It's now including Magic, One Piece, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, um, Dragon Ball Super. What else is there? Digimon and Flesh and Blood and White Shorts, and I'm adding Star Wars in. It should be already added by now. By the time I'm filming this video, like by the time it gets launched, Star Wars should be fully added. It also supports variation listings, which is very good, and just a bunch of other features. So check it out. Wow, look at these two. I remember selling this card for $100 a few months ago, or maybe longer. Time flies when you're selling stuff. But yeah, check that out. And about TCG Automate, I wanted to announce that I will be doing a giveaway soon for a Epson scanner, and it's around like a $200 to $300 item, I think. So I'm going to be giving that away to any user of TCG Automate. So there will be more details on that soon. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that, because a scanner, like for the tool, scanning the items in is a lot better and more accurate. And I know it's a big price, like spending $300 on a scanner is no joke. So hopefully that could help one of you guys out, because I'd rather give it to someone that needs it rather than just like, sell it online. Even if I can make money from it, I don't really care. I'd rather give it to someone that's, trying to better their store using the tool, trying to sell more. Like, it's always good to help people like that are actually trying to do something with their time and money rather than just, do something else. So that's that thing. I'll make a video about that soon. And next thing I want to talk about is like the aspect of getting collections like this, because like when you're buying collections on the Facebook groups, like I always talk about, this card is beautiful. And this one actually, what the heck? I think this is like a $400 card now. So when you're buying collections in like the internet, I guess it's like a USA based, groups. Um, you will find like what I've been talking about is the resellers just trying to sell to each other. And like, yeah, you could still make a profit on that. But where the real, you know, the real value is finding local collections. Like this person was local. We actually met up earlier this morning. He stopped by and dropped off the collection. Beautiful promos. Um, Another Mega Mewtwo, bunch of Mega Alt Arts, and then some Tag Team GXs, Armored Mewtwo. So he stopped by, and then yeah, we just worked out the deal. That was that, and that's a lot better to find collections rather than like making a post in the groups saying that you're buying collections, because a lot of the times is, you'll run into those vendors, and you're not going to find the best selection of cards. But when you're buying locally, you will find stuff like this, and even you're still paying 70-80% for it, but you're getting much better cards which will sell quicker, and hopefully, like, if they don't sell, they just go up in price and you could make even more profit. So always look at your local groups for collections. It's like, sure, you have a smaller audience to buy from, but there's much more room for, or much more potential for better cards. Like, look at this: Garchomp, Giratina, Lucario. Like, no vendor is going to sell these cards at 70%, but someone that's, has their own collection and they're just trying to get some money out of it, they will sell it for that price, for that percentage. And it's also just like, I don't know, sometimes I just prefer buying from people locally if it's bigger collections. Like, I don't really enjoy driving around to find collections, because sure, you like, the seller saves money on shipping, but then you got to think about it, like, you're spending all this time driving, planning a meetup, and then picking a location. Like, there's so much work that gets involved and so much time that people don't factor in, I don't think, because, like, okay, this person, for example, um they drove, I think he told me he drove 2 hours to sell this collection, and he could have shipped it for maybe what, $20. He could have shipped the whole thing. Granted, he would have had to pay fees and stuff, but because of the goods and service, if he's shipping. But it's just, that's 4 hours of your time. And depending on what you're selling and the value of what you're selling, it's better, in my opinion, to just ship it rather than meet up locally. And obviously, like, not everyone agrees with that, but that's just my opinion on that. This card is sick. I think this is the one that sparked the hype train, with everyone being hyped up about the new sets, is that Greninja, because it was like getting pumped when it first came out. And I think that's because the print run on Twilight Masquerade was just a lot lower. So I think that's what caused people to just look into it, to start investing or scalping, whatever you want to say. Sick card again. Some more Tag Team GXs. If I would have bought this like a month ago, these prices would have been halved at least, or at least half. Like, the Tag Team GXs went up like crazy over the last few months. I mean, they are sick though, but I don't know what the rarity is of these. Like, I know they're GXs and ultra rares, but like, is it like a VMAX rarity? Is it like a full art rarity? I am not sure. And let's see what's in this box. I don't know if I'll show the whole thing, but just a bunch. Actually, I'll keep showing until like we get to like the really low end cards, because you guys probably don't want to see that. Maybe you do. I don't know. This card is cool. Um, let's see what else I want to talk about. I don't know. Also, if you want any features being added to TCG Automate, let me know and I'll make sure to add them in. And another thing I'm going to be doing soon is vending. There's a vending show, the Detroit Card Show on the 26th. I will be doing that for the first time, and I'll try to find a way to record it or maybe even live stream it if I can figure that out. But I'm for sure going to be there. This card is cool. And if you have any tips, it would be much appreciated if you could just let me know, like comment down below or reach out to me. Because like I've been talking to a few friends of mine that have done vending and they've all been giving me their advice, but just hearing from different opinions would be great because it's I don't know, it's kind of scary. I feel like I've never done it before, and I always see these videos of people trying to like haggle on the prices and negotiate, and I know that's part of it is haggling and negotiating, but I don't know. I personally don't like doing that because it's like if I put this price, like I could price high. Let's say the market price is $10. I could say, oh yeah, let me put the sticker on this card for $15. So then someone could negotiate for a lower price, and then I'm still getting the market price. But I'd rather just set it at the price that I want to sell it at. But if I do that, then people are still going to try to negotiate, and it's like then I'm really losing, and then I look like a bad person for not wanting to negotiate. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on these or on that. Dang, there's a bunch of illustration rares. I need illustration rares to go up soon. I have like over 1,000 right now, and they're just sitting there because nobody wants them anymore. Plus, I had them priced at the peak almost. Actually, this card has been going up, I think. So if you have that, make sure you're updating your price. But yeah, I had them priced at the peak, and then they've just been going down, especially this freaking. Oh no! I dropped it. Okay, especially the Drowsy. That card has been going down a ton, mainly because it got pumped up so much. And this is a cool promo. One thing, actually, speaking of promos, they've been going insane lately because everyone's trying to pump them up, like the Lucario, the Greninja, just a bunch of cards going up like that. Oh, speaking of which, this Greninja, I think it went up like 3x, 5x in a very short amount of time. This card also getting pumped up. This one I've been selling a lot. The craziest one actually is the what's it called? The Rayquaza from the Blooming Waters, I think. The promo with the Kyogre. This card is like $15. Just a regular EX card. Um Sorry, I'm going too fast on these. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Rayquaza promo. Sword and Shield promo. I sold 114 copies of it in the last week for $3 a piece on my store. This is a really cool Sun and Moon card. And that was just crazy. It looks like there's still some good cards in here. These are more full arts. Paldean Fates. I feel like Paldean Fates is better than Shining Fates. Even though the ultra rares aren't as cool, like I think the artwork is just better on these. Let's see. Oh, Charizard EX. And one thing that like I don't really know how to handle this, but it's like when you see a collection like this, like I don't go through the entire thing in person. Like I just make sure that the expensive ones are there and then just hope That's a cool one. Hope that the seller is like a good person if there is an issue when I'm going through it later. And usually they are. Sometimes they're not. And that's the risk of like buying locally, which is why it's like a good thing because you can get better collections, but it's also scary because you run into those type of situations quite often where you buy the collection, things look good at first, and then you message them after and you say, oh, actually there was an issue with this card, like it's not labeled properly, or it was in worse condition than what you said it was. And then, to be fair, like they sometimes they'll respond and be like, oh, I gave you the opportunity to look at it in person, I'm not going to refund you now. And it's like, sure, it is partially my fault for not looking in person, but who's gonna take the time to look through 500 cards in person instead of just taking their word for it? Because, like, I don't know. That's just, I think it's not right when they do that, but I guess it goes both ways. These are a bunch of cool promos. GameStop, I think that's is this the pre-release promo? I thought they usually came in like a deck almost. This is probably, uh, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen those promos before. Keep those to the side. Okay, we are halfway done around. And what else? The other thing that I have a pet peeve with is when people are selling you a collection and they want friends and family, and they say, "Oh, I'm not gonna take the fees because I'm paying you friends," or like whatever. Like they want you to pay friends and family so that they don't have to pay the fees. And it's like, okay, I can make the same argument that I'm losing out on credit card cash back by not using friends and family, or by using friends and family. Because with my credit card, I think I get like 2% cash back on everything. And you can't use a credit card for friends and family purchases. So if you ever need an excuse to not do that, like not have to be peer pressured into paying friends and family, just say that, because that would probably shut them up really quick. Because, like, okay, what is, like, sure, you're losing fees. I'm also losing out on potential money. So, like, take that, I guess. I don't know. Because it's so common. Like, people want everything handed to them when they're selling. And this is not this person. I'm not talking about this person. This guy was very cool, very nice. I'm just talking about in general when buying collections. Like, people want so many things and they think that they are doing you a favor by selling you their collection, when in reality, like, there are thousands of people with collections to sell. Like, they're not, theirs is no more special than anyone else's, so they shouldn't be like acting like that, I guess. And I know it's like, yeah, you collect it and it has value to you, but at the end of the day, it's a Pokemon card that you are going to be selling, and it doesn't have the sentimental value to you as the buyer as much as it does to the seller. And that's something you need to navigate carefully, because a lot of people would be pretty upset if you talk bad about their collection, which is understandable. It's like they spent a lot of time building that collection, a lot of money, and if you're rude about it, like, it's kind of like a personal thing. But for, like, sometimes when they're just having like very significant demands, that's when you have to push back and not let it just keep happening. Because they'll ask, this is the common uh like, I guess, process of buying a collection that I encounter, which is they send me the collection. Let's say it's worth $100. I say, yeah, I could do 70 for this collection. And then they'll say, can you do 75? I say, no, I can't. 70 is the best I could do. Then we agree on that. Then they go, okay, 70 works if you cover the shipping. I say, sorry, again, 70 is the best I could do. I don't cover shipping when I'm buying collections. And then they say, okay, that's fine. Then they go, oh, can you cover the fees then? Because I'm covering the shipping and whatever. And I'm already losing because of the percentage. And it's like, how many things are you gonna ask before we like agree on this deal? Because we already agreed, and now you just keep asking for more and more. And it's like there's no winning if you don't stay firm on your offer. Because what you can do is like they ask for the 75%. You go, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then you agree on that, and then they go, and can you cover the shipping? And then you say yes, oh yeah, I'll cover the shipping. And then you say, or they say, can you cover the fee too? And you go, yeah, and it's like right there, you're losing, or you're spending an extra what, $20 because you know they kept asking for more and you kept giving in. And it's like, unless you want to do that, I definitely don't recommend it, because it just, like I said, it does not stop. The requests keep coming in, and you're just gonna overspend and not be able to make any profit. So be firm on what you're offering, and you will run into issues with like rude people. Like the other day, I was trying to buy a collection, and I did cave a little. Like it was a pretty good collection, so I was like, you know what, sure, I'll go up on my percentage. Originally, I offered 70, and they go, I'm looking for 80. I'm not gonna do 70. But they were like very strong with it, with their responses, and I said, sorry, I can't do 70, because that's my little tactic. Like if someone says they want more, I I say, sorry, I can't do that. If they say, okay, that's fine, I'll stick with 70. That's a win for me. But if they say, yeah, thank you for the offer, I'm going to look elsewhere, then I, I say, actually, okay, sure, I'll do whatever. I'll do 75 or 80%. And then it's like, okay, for me, in my opinion, like it's worth it to do that, because it's a almost a win-win. Like I either get the percentage I originally wanted, or if it's a really good collection and they don't want to sell it at that price, then I could just counter offer and make an actual offer if they don't accept it. Because a lot of people get scared and they think if they don't accept this initial offer, it's going to fail. Like they're not going to respond to me. But that's not the case. Like a lot of people don't really know how the selling part works, because there are a lot more sellers than there are buyers, especially at those competitive rates. Like it's not as frequent as you may think. Like I know we are sellers, or like if you're watching this, you're probably a seller, and you think like, oh, if I'm doing it, there must be much more people doing it. But then you actually look into it, and it's like there aren't that many if you think about it, compared to the amount of sellers. And so when you hold strong on your offer, they either have to make a new post, find a different buyer, or like anything like that, and it takes them more time. So it's just worth it to stay strong on your first offer, and if they don't like it, they can just find something else, and you could counter offer if they really don't like it, or whatever. You could do anything. And so yeah, they were being pretty, oh, these are in the wrong pile. I don't know, they were just being like very stern, but like rude in a way. I don't know, I took it as rude, the way they were responding and talking. So I go, you know what, sure, I'll do 75%. And then they ask, can you drive to me 2 hours? I go, sorry, I already offered to meet halfway. I cannot drive completely to you. It's not a big enough collection for me to be doing that. Oh, this is a cool one. I don't know what this is from. Regional. It's not a big enough collection for me to be driving, 2 hours. Like I'm very busy. I have full-time job, building TCG Automate, running this business. Like there's a lot of things I'm doing, and I don't really say it like that to them, but they were like, okay, if you're not gonna drive to me, I'm not gonna sell you this collection. And right then and there, I was like, okay, I already went up $100 on this on my initial offer. I'm not gonna keep caving to these things. So I said, okay, thank you. I'm gonna have to pass on this. Best of luck with the sale. And then they respond, yeah, I got a higher offer anyways. And I'm like, okay, rude person. Like it was like a snobby response. I don't know. So you run into issues like that pretty often, especially when you're like buying bigger collections. You just got to learn how to brush past it, and things will go better. One thing I have noticed, which makes me, oh no, I dropped another one. Um, one sec. That makes me very appreciative of like you guys on the YouTube channel is that I started making short form videos, and it's insane. Like the difference. Oops, the difference in responses and like comments from the short form videos compared to these videos I've been making. Like you guys are all extremely nice, very open minded and thoughtful in my opinion. Like I think you guys are very smart and all that. And it's like I make these short form videos and it's insane the amount of like angry comments I get. And I think this is what maybe it's because it's going to a broader audience, so there's like more uh I don't know, a more diverse crowd, I guess. But it's like everyone's just so angry and like complaining about everything. They don't want to see things from a different opinion. And it's like, wow, this is this is like what you hear with like all those people saying the crowds online are crazy. Because like I always expected, if I start making videos, people are gonna hate and talk bad and like comment negative things. But it was surprisingly like all positive when I first started, and I didn't like start to see like negative comments until probably like the 3,000 subscriber mark, which I'm fine with it. Like it doesn't bother me. And there's barely any of them, so it's whatever. But like on the short form videos, I think that would have really affected me if I started just doing short form videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and then I saw those comments. But luckily, I started with the full length videos, helping you all, and you guys have been all like very nice about it, or very nice in the comments. So thank you all for that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, right now we're getting towards the like cheaper cards. Um, I think I'm just gonna finish it up though. Like I'll show you guys the rest of the collection. And one other thing I wanted to announce is, speaking of TCG Automate, um, I will be doing free trials soon. I don't know how soon, but I'm gonna look into like seeing how I could do it. Maybe give like 100 free scans or maybe more, depending on how much it costs me. Because like the AI stuff does cost money, and like hosting it all, each prediction costs money. So I got to factor that in, and I'm willing to take that loss if it helps you guys, and if it helps you guys get that like I guess trial run. Because some people have been commenting that they don't want to try something new if it's not free, and I personally I see that point, but I also don't. But I'm willing to just take that risk and try it out just to see how it goes. Also, one thing I want to clarify, in a video I said like not to over invest on like hyped up sets and hyped up items, because you never know when the bubble would pop on them. And I kind of need to like clarify that, because I feel like a little hypocritical on it, and I might make a full video on this just in case people aren't watching this long. Um, when you like when you're first starting off, buying into the hype, sure, it can work. Like you can make good money if you're early and you get out early enough, but it can also lead to you losing a ton of money if you get in late and you can't sell it all. Like what happened with, not necessarily me for the um, illustration rares, but like technically it did happen to me. And I didn't purposely invest in them or purposely try to buy a bunch of them. I was just buying collections at the time that, those were readily available. And I'm just sitting on a bunch of them. Like even look at this collection, like this whole row. It's illustration rares right now because it's just people have so many of them. And right now I'm just sitting on probably, yeah, over 1,000 illustration rares that are just not selling. Maybe if I lowered the price, I could sell them, but like I'm not interested in that because that means I'm just going to be losing profit. No. Um, but yeah, the point I was making was like I don't recommend investing into like things being hyped up because you could, you're risking a lot with that if you don't get an early exit. But I have been buying up things that I notice getting hyped up, like I'm trying to join in early because mainly because like I'm just fortunate enough to have the extra capital to do so. So like recently I made a video where I bought a bunch of EX full art cards from XY and it was like $500. And when oh, that's a cool one. When you're first starting off, investing $500 into something that's being pumped up, it's very risky because if that doesn't sell and you only have, let's say, $1,000 to play with, then you're screwed. Like you either have to sell those at a loss or just hold on to them until they sell. And who knows how long that's going to take. And, but like for me, I have a lot more cash to play with, which means I can make those risks or like take those risks and try to make a profit that way. Because currently, I don't know why, but like I just like having a lot extra cash in the bank. But like lately, I've been thinking I should just be spending it all and having less available, so that way there's more room to sell cards. Because right now, if I don't know, it's just like I have all this cash, but it's not doing anything. Like my bank is giving me 1.3% interest. That's, oh no, that's whatever. But I could be buying more collections and then making, 20% profit on that instead of just making a 1% interest per month. So that's why I've been doing it. It is very difficult to find cards to buy, to be honest. Like I know I said there's a lot more sellers than there are buyers, but good sellers is very hard to come across, and good collections is even harder to come across. Like you could buy from people that know what they're doing, they know what they're selling, which makes it a whole lot easier. But people that know what they're selling and also, um, how do I put this? People that know what they're selling, but like aren't in the hobby of like selling as a business, that is very hard to come across. And when you find people like that, you should keep them close because they are very rare, in my opinion. And they're very beneficial to you as a store owner. Because like you'll run into people that they know what they're selling, but they will only sell you the junk. Or not junk, but like the stuff that doesn't sell. And then you run into people that don't know what they're selling, but they have some good cards. And because they don't know what they're selling, they're going to be asking some outrageous prices. And I made a video the other day about like people that will give you comps on a PSA 10 price for a near mint or for a raw card, and it's like Like you know what I'm talking about with that. But those people, it's either you're gonna spend a bunch of your time convincing them that they are wrong, or you just gotta ignore them because it's not worth convincing. And it's like you just gotta decide that. But when you find the people that know what they're selling, they're very clear and communicative of everything. Those are the best sellers, in my opinion. I mean, I don't even mind paying them a premium just because it's like they deserve it, in my opinion. Oops. And it looks like we're getting to the end of this collection. Also, I will be making a video or a live. Maybe I'll be going live. Um, Listing some cards, showing you guys how I do it. So stay tuned. I might make a post like maybe an hour or two before I actually go live because my schedule, it can be pretty on the fly. Like I can't plan too many things at a specific time a few days before. I need to know the day of. It just makes it a lot easier. But wow, this was the whole collection. This whole stack is illustration rares. And I know it's like a lot of top loaders, so it makes it taller, but a whole bunch of cards. And I don't know if I should keep this till the 26th for the vending, or if I should just try to list it on eBay and try to sell them all. Because this is like $10,000 worth of cards, and the vending is around 3 weeks away. So, no, not 3 weeks, 2 weeks away. So, I'm gonna have to decide that. Maybe I'll list like the high end cards first and try to sell them, but we'll see. I'll keep you all updated, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Really cool collection. Make sure you're looking at what's it called? Local Facebook groups to find the best collections. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.